These influencers were really acting like the entire internet router for the whole world was getting unplugged just for TikTok to come back in less than 24 hours. That is really embarrassing. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about this trend of influencers basically admitting to their entire following and to the entire internet that all of their content is basically fake and made up. I was in shock when I realized that this was a trend and that big influencers were hopping on and actually being kind of honest. Definitely not something I thought, but a lot of people did say that 2025 was going to be the year of big revelations and things coming to light. So I guess they were right about that. So I want to go over what happened on TikTok right before it went dark, and also my opinions about people's reactions, people's outrage, because I do have some unpopular opinions. Maybe you guys will agree with me, maybe you won't, but let's find out. So to go over exactly what happened, right before TikTok was set to go dark in the US, a lot of creators hopped on this trend basically saying, now that TikTok is going away, I have to be honest with you about blank. At first, they were like really funny, harmless things, but then you had some really big creators hopping on here and basically admitting to their entire following and to the whole internet that their whole career was built on lies, which is pretty insane. Super notable one was the Meredith Duxbury girl. I don't know how to say her name, but I'll put it here. She went viral years ago and has continued to grow a super big following by applying massive layers of foundation and makeup on her skin, and it somehow always comes out looking flawless. People were shocked to find that she posted a video to go with the trend of TikTok going dark, basically admitting that she was wiping off most of the makeup in between the cuts of her videos and that basically the videos were fake. People were in shock, they couldn't believe it, they are very upset with her on TikTok, and this is where I have some unpopular opinions, because yes, do I think it was wrong for her to like mislead people? 1000%, it's always better to be honest, but do I also think that it was very obvious that she was not applying that much makeup? Because your common sense has to tell you that nobody can apply that much makeup and have it look good. Also, yes. I think there needs to be some personal accountability here, because I feel like it was very obvious that the videos she was making were for entertainment and for shock value and for the purpose of going viral, and they were not actually supposed to be serious makeup tutorials or serious makeup content that anybody follows. I don't think I've ever seen anybody copy one of her tutorials other than just for a gag. Now, does it make it right? No, but once again, it's pretty obvious because of the way that she would edit as well. Like, she never showed herself entirely applying all of the foundation, and this is the problem with TikTok. You have this short form content that's highly edited, and people will not stick around to watch you blend out 20 pumps of foundation like they would on YouTube back in the day. I think the 100 layers challenge from back in the day on YouTube really drives this home, that like it's impossible to wear that much makeup. You would literally look like the peanut butter baby after like the 4th layer. So I can't help but not feel bad for people, because I just don't understand how you thought that that was real. And this is what I'm gonna get to later in the video, but I think a lot of creators have this cognitive dissonance when it comes to their content and how people interact with it. People assume that influencers are being honest, just sharing parts of their life, when on the other end, influencers are just trying to go viral, and that's where the disconnect happens. Another big creator that confessed to something was Charli D'Amelio, who basically admitted that she lied about vaping. This was one of those really harmless ones. People just kind of laughed and they were like, yeah, we kind of knew, but you had like an image to uphold, like hee hee ha ha. It's okay, like it's fine. I think a lot of the big influencers who hopped on this trend thought that their admissions were going to be taken the way Charli's was taken, and they majorly messed up. The things that they were admitting to that I think in their head was common knowledge, nobody actually knew, and they were really upset with them once they found out. Another huge influencer who's getting a ton of backlash after hopping on this trend is one by the name of Baby Dumpling, and her account consisted of eating content. She wasn't necessarily a mukbanger that would like eat with you and talk about things. She was a food consuming content creator. Like, she would film how much food she consumes throughout a day, which was always an obscene amount of food. It was so much food that nobody could eat that much food, especially somebody her size. She's an extremely petite woman. People were in shock when she would film herself eating 3 bags of chips, all you can eat sushi, and getting plate after plate after plate in one day. Like, it was insane. Well, she came on camera right before TikTok went dark and admitted that she never ate all that food and that it was just for the videos. This was an insane thing to admit, because unlike Meredith, who's not really lying, because in her videos Meredith never talked or said that she used all that foundation. She would just mix it together and put it on her face in really fast clips. So you could almost argue that she never really lied. Baby Dumpling was straight up lying. She would film food and say, this is everything I ate. So she admitted that she straight up lied, and I don't understand why she thought that that would be okay to admit, because people are pissed. In the comments, people were like, I'm unfollowing you, I can't believe this, I have no more trust. Like, people were going in. And I feel like the heat on her is a little bit more justified, just because she was vocally saying, I ate this, I ate this, I ate this, and she didn't really eat it all. This goes back to what I said about Meredith, where we need to have some awareness as consumers of media, because it was also kind of obvious that this very tiny petite girl could not eat all that food with the regularity that she was consuming it on camera. She never filmed herself eating an entire meal from start to finish, and let me just be clear. There are creators on TikTok who will film themselves eating an entire box of crumble cookies from start to finish. They don't cut in between chewing. They show you the bite, the chew, the swallow, and they chug milk after. And I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they're not sick after. Maybe they are. Who knows? But they show you eating all of it. Baby Dumpling would not only not show you the entire eating of the food that she claimed to be eating, she would sometimes not even show herself eating anything. She would just film the food spread and say that she ate it all, but never even show herself taking one bite. You don't see it. She just says that she does it. So I think people really need to use their discernment more, because I was definitely like, yeah, this is fake. But once again, not everybody is as media literate as me, because I work in media. I run people's accounts for a living. Plus, I make content myself. So I try to give people grace. But when it comes to things like this, I'm just like, you know that that girl, as small as she is, cannot possibly eat that. There are people 3 times her size who couldn't even finish the amount of food that she was finishing. But I still think all of the heat she's getting is deserved, because especially when it comes to topics of food, people have a really emotional reaction, because a lot of people, especially on TikTok, are very vocal about their struggles with food and with eating. People have a multitude of disorders. People are extremely insecure about their weight, whether they're too small or too big. So I honestly think it's really gross to be a very small woman basically bragging about how much food you eat without it impacting you at all physically. I can imagine being somebody who's trying to lose weight, counting calories, measuring out your macros, weighing your food, and then you scroll and you see a video of Baby Dumpling eating whatever she can, supposedly, because we now know it was a lie, but eating whatever she can, and she looks a third of your size. That would be really demotivating. That would probably derail a lot of people. Not to mention the people who will be influenced by that to think that what you eat doesn't matter, and that as long as they go to the gym, they can eat like Baby Dumpling and they'll look like her eventually. I think it's extremely dangerous, because the topic of food and like eating disorders are so prevalent, and there's so many people on TikTok so vocal about it that I don't think she can like plead ignorance. But this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, where I think a lot of content creators, especially the bigger ones and the bigger they get, create a sense of cognitive dissonance between their reality as a person and the content. Whereas people follow influencers because they genuinely think that they're sharing their life, and that these clips that they're getting are real, genuine moments from their life. And the reality is very different. The reality is that influencers post what looks good, what will get them views, and they see it as a job. They do not see it as sharing their life. They do not see it as being genuine. They do not see it as being authentic. They just look at the numbers, how it's going to perform, what people are going to like or what people are going to hate, because rage bait content is very real and very successful. But that's where the confusion comes in. People assume that it's all real, and the influencers assume that you don't think it's real because it's not real to them. They just want a nice video that looks good and that will get them numbers. Influencers no longer care about actually being influential when it comes to their day-to-day life. They only want to be influential when it's going to give them a check or when it's for a brand deal. And that is the sad truth. That is just where we are as a society. And knowing this, I have a few predictions about how it's going to impact content creation going forward. This confession from all these big content creators has definitely shattered a lot of people's perception of social media and of their favorite creators. Let me be very clear. I actually don't think that the individual influencers that I named in this video or other ones that participated in this trend will receive dire negative consequences from participating in the trend. I think people are going to be mad about it for about a week and then everything goes back to normal. But I think that in the wider scope of things, people are now going to have a different level of awareness about the content that they consume. And they're going to be seeking out influencers that seem a little bit less edited, that seem a little bit more genuine, that seem a little bit lower quality even, because we're now realizing that the highly edited, highly palatable, seamless, aesthetic videos are fake. Like, that's just all they are. They're aesthetic, beautiful, motivational maybe, but they're not real. I think the general public is now realizing that most content on the internet is manufactured content to go viral. And that is actually something that a lot of people did not know before this trend. But anyways, those are my predictions about this whole aftermath since everyone admitted that they were a liar on TikTok. Please comment below and tell me what you were the most surprised to learn about. If you saw any creators doing this trend, who were you like the most shocked by? Were you shocked by anybody? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I would love to know. And stay tuned if you want to see more commentary style videos like this, because I am determined to post at least once a week. Thank you for watching. Bye!